What is going on, everyone? MikeO back, doing a mail day recap, a long overdue mail day recap. It's been more than 3 weeks since my last mail day video, so here's some stuff that I've picked up recently that's arrived in the mail. Fun selection of stuff, some pre-war stuff, some modern stuff, a lot of image variation short prints for the Phillies Ultimate Topps team set. So let's get into it. So we got a pile of stuff. We'll start off with some cheap stuff first. So first of all, picked up a Topps Chrome update team set. Just a little eBay purchase. So Austin Hayes is in Topps Chrome update. Phillies card, flagship design, but obviously Chrome. But he was not in Topps update. Somehow Chrome had more of an update than regular Topps update, but wanted to add that one. Christopher Sanchez, that's the same as his base card and update. But then the All-Star game, which are technically inserts, they made some in Chrome that they did not make in Topps update. For some reason, Matt Strom did not have a card. I don't understand why they didn't just make every All-Star in regular Topps update. They did do relics of all of them, but they didn't do the insert All-Star game cards. And then they changed it up a little bit. I believe, I don't have one handy, but I think the Topps update version has the team name, and then the Chrome version says 2004 MLB All-Star Game. So we have a Matt Strom in this. Still no Jeff Hoffman, no Christopher Sanchez for some reason. We got Alec Boehm, Trey Turner, Zach Wheeler, Ranger Suarez, and Bryce Harper. So I wanted to add those. I really didn't open any Chrome update. I just didn't see the point in opening that product this year. It was just way too popular, way too pricey. All right, and then a few other cheap pickups I got. Some of the oddball stuff. A few of these will probably be going off to CGC for encapsulation. Love getting some of the cheap oddball stuff done by them. I don't know how long I'm going to keep my membership with them. It's just, I don't know if I can justify it. But we got this 1994 Superstar Roundup. Oscar Mayer, John Kruk. We've got the John Kruk Oscar Mayer here. I forget the exact years on these. I want to say they're like 93 and 94. We got the West Chamberlain Jimmy Dean 92. A little bit of an oversized card there. Then we've got Chase Utley from Upper Deck. It's a little bit of an oversized card there. 2009 Upper Deck 20th anniversary. We've got Fantastic Sam's Mike Schmidt 1988 Collector's Edition. Got to get as many Von Hayes as possible. So we got the sweet Von Hayes from 1990. Baseball Card Magazine. And then here is a Player's Choice MVP, Darren Dalton. It's from Cartwrights. So some cool oddball additions. Oddball cards can be really fun to add to your team collection, and they're generally very, very affordable. A couple other pickups. We got the Chase Utley E-Tops. Was able to get this one at a good price. Holder's not in too bad a shape. A lot of times the holders are destroyed. This one's numbered out of 749. Nice shine on it. Cool E-Tops purchase. I don't even know what the true print run is on these things. I don't know if everyone redeemed them and got the physical cards or not. And then I also got this Bobby Abreu mini Panini sticker from 1998. Printed in Italy by Panini, Modena. So I don't know if this is one of the ones. I think there were some that were printed for South America, but I don't know all the details with that. All right, other pickups. So let me show these off. So these are a gift. These came from Eastern Connecticut Sports Cards, which I appreciate it, Mike. Just a few box toppers for the Phillies collection. We got Nick Castellanos and Zach Wheeler. So a few fun ones there. Those are from this one's from 2023. This one's 2022. I enjoy the box toppers. A lot of them are ones that I don't go crazy out of my way to pick up some. I usually try and pick up some Harpers if I can, if it makes sense. But the thing with the box toppers are, they're annoying to ship, things like that. So a lot of people don't make them available, and then they kind of get lost in the shuffle. So obviously when a product comes out, you'll see them available, but eventually they kind of can become a little more scarce than you would think, even though the demand isn't super high for them typically. But those are super sweet. Mike, I appreciate it. Guys, make sure you check out Mike's channel. Like I said, Eastern Connecticut Sports Cards. He's been on YouTube one way or another for a very, very long time. All right, what else do we have here? We have a Jimmy Rollins. So here's a sweet one here. This is from 2024, Topps 5-star Jimmy Rollins on-card autograph. I guess it's like a gold or something. It's serial number 2 of 10. Beautiful looking signature, really nice photo. Like this look of 5-star. And I was able to get this at a pretty good price on eBay. It was up there. I sent a couple offers, secured it. I don't remember offhand the exact price, but I want to say it was probably around $25 or so, which is, to me, very, very worth it when you consider the price of these boxes. Probably several $100s for, 2 autographs, something like that. Jimmy Rollins, borderline Hall of Fame guy. He'll be on the ballot, I would think, all 10 years. We'll see if he gets in or he doesn't, at least with the votes. But he is definitely an all-time great for the Phillies, future Phillies Wall of Famer. So happy to add that one. I guess at this point we can zoom it in a little bit. All right, let's take a look at this stack. First off, we do have couple of football cards. So I got a couple Drew Bledsoes for the Drew Bledsoe collection. This is a Topps Chrome Black out of Topps Composite. This is a blue, serial numbered out of 75. I think overall Topps has done a pretty good job with their football products. Of course, in a few years when they have full licensing, it's going to look a little better. It'd be neat to have the logos and full uniforms for sure, but you can pick that stuff up really cheap right now. Here's a cool one, Touchdown Club from Leaf Rookies and Stars. I think this card is gorgeous looking. It's numbered out of 5,000 from 1998. And just love the color scheme of it. So fun one there. And then another fun one here. Gotta love the Pinnacle. Pinnacle Back to School. Drew Bledsoe from 1994. Got like that Dufex look to it. I mean, that's a sweet card. So if you have a favorite player, favorite team, this is one of these times. Check it out. Look up the set. See if they made anyone that fits your PC, because these are really cool cards. And again, not all that expensive. A couple bucks at most. So sweet one there. Thrilled to have that. We've got a couple inserts here that I picked up. This is a Chase Utley red foil from 2024 Topps Archives. That one is serial numbered 32 of 50. So I was able to pick up the Utley parallel. Unfortunately, a little off center, left to right and top to bottom. But again, won at auction for just a couple dollars. Here's a fun parallel / insert from 2023 Archives. It's a 69 Topps Bryce Harper foil parallel. So I like that. And then I was able to secure a few cards for the Phillies Ultimate Topps team set, the image variation. So this one is super rare. This is from 2009 Topps. You just don't see these. There was a graded one at one point that was very expensive. This is a raw one. I was able to finally work out a deal. Unfortunately, the card is trashed, and I kind of let the seller know. He described it as, like, he has the image, so it shows this defect down here, but there are a ton of defects that you don't see, and he described it in condition as like a near mint, which would be an 8. This card, if you send it off for grading, would probably get like a 5. At this point, like, I'm going to keep the card. I don't care. It's going in a binder, and it's just so hard to find. You just don't see these, but you can see some surface issues there. You got this little nick / mark there. And then on the front, you have, let's see if we can see it in there. You got an indentation there. The corner, again, it's not going to show up that well, but there you can see the corner has an issue there. Like, I mean, there's another indentation there, another indentation there, straight up indentation. Like this card, I have no other options. I've been looking for it for years. Was finally able to secure one, so I'm gonna keep it. But I mean, the seller just did a horrific job of just properly describing it. And again, it's not something I'm getting graded anyway. This is going in a binder. Condition is not my strongest concern, but you would like to educate some sellers, which clearly need it. So was able to get that, happy to get that one. Picked up the Johan Rojas. I'm sure Ed is very jealous. I know he's becoming a Rojas investor, collector of epic proportions. He's a big Rojas guy. Probably has his Rojas jersey on now while he's watching it. Of course, most of you guys are like, what are you talking about? Well, if you've been around YouTube for a long time, you know Ed, a.k.a. Wesker Griff, one of my fellow Phillies collectors here on the platform, as there are many. Anyway, this is the Golden Mirror image variation from 2024 Topps of Johan Rojas. Really nice image. Sometimes vertical cards work, sometimes horizontal cards work. This is one where obviously this works, where he's signing autographs and stuff. So I was able to pick that one up for the collection. And then from this year's Topps 2025 Topps, this is the Christopher Sanchez Golden Mirror image variation short print. Definitely not one of my favorites. I like when they have them doing stuff like signing autographs, doing something in uniform, something maybe in the clubhouse, but when they're just in a suit, it's kind of like, eh. I mean, this I'm sure is from the parade at the All-Star game, I'm sure, but it just, it looks like a dude in a suit. So still going to get it for the collection. And then the other one I was able to pick up, which I've struggled a lot over the last couple years with picking up the short prints, the Golden Mirror image variation short prints of the league leaders. And this one includes Chris Sale, Zach Wheeler, and Shota. This is the wins leader one. There's two different ones with the same three players. You see Wheeler in the City Connect uniform with the different hat. So I forget if that was from Memorial Day or whatever, but you got that hat on. So a little different there. So I was able to secure that. So a few that are knocked off the list that are going in the binder. Other than that, other pickups, other things I have to show off. Before I show off these old school things, let me show off this. You may have been questioning, what is this? So this is a custom-made Phillies PSA/SGC display piece. This was sent to me by Nick W. Nick is often involved in my SGC grading submissions. He's done some CGC and PSA DNA with me over the years as well. His brother makes these, so if you guys are interested, maybe I can get you connected. But this thing's super cool. So it displays 4 cards and it spins, it turns. So right here we have the Bryce Harper 90 Design Gold Refractor. Then as you can turn it, you got the Richie Ashburn. And it continues to turn. You got a Rico Bronya. Look at that one. And then you finish it up with the Jimmy Rollins from 2001 Bowman Chrome. And that's the X-Fractor in a 9. So very cool. Spins, displays your cards. Very easy to insert them. I can take this off. It's just like a magnetic top up here. So you drop them in. You can even store some cards in here. And it just snaps back into place. So awesome, awesome piece. Congrats, Nick and Nick's brother on a really cool thing. So super happy to have that here to help enhance the collection. Appreciate it, Nick. Another purchase, last card purchase to show off, is an 1887 gold coin Buchner N284 Charlie Ferguson in an SGC1. So it's a poor one. Charlie Ferguson. So the back is the biggest issue. A little faded. It's got a stamp on it, but really nice front overall. Obviously a little off center. It's going to have some wear. It's also from 1887. If you weren't aware, it's the year 2025. So it's, well over a century old. Charlie Ferguson, if you're not aware of him, was really the Phillies' first superstar. He was one of the first really great Phillies players. Unfortunately, only lasted a few seasons before passing away, which happened back in the day. We didn't have modern medicine. Obviously, it was a little more common back then. But Charlie Ferguson was a pitcher/position player, and he was really one of the Phillies' best hitters and pitchers there for a couple years. So, unfortunately, he's just, because he played in that time, like we hear about, obviously we know the current guys, we know the guys from the 80s and 90s, and we have that golden age of the 50s with all the legends that are talked about a lot in our hobby. And before that, obviously there's a few guys that get some attention, but really the players from back in the 1800s, for the most part, don't get a lot of respect. There's not many photographs. There's obviously no videos. There's no audio clips. There's no one around that saw them play to continue talking about their legend much. And this guy absolutely should be inducted into the Phillies Wall of Fame. Again, one of their all-time greats. Absolutely amazing player. So hopefully at some point, the Phillies recognize and realize that this guy is unfortunately been left off that list, and that needs to definitely be fixed as soon as possible. But Charlie Ferguson, love picking up his stuff. Appreciate Big Scott 35 for helping me secure this one at an auction. So thank you, Scott. Happy to have that one. And then the only other pickups I have here are some images. I have some photos. So this is just a lot here of some old school images. We got Kurt Davis. And we've got, who do we have here? We have William Bransfield, Roy Thomas. I've become a sucker for some of these old images. Just love picking them up sometimes. Charles Spalding. Sometimes you end up with coaches and such. Prothero. Pizzulo. I like looking up and finding out what I can about some of these guys too. Obviously some I recognize more so than others. Kolick. It's just fun seeing the backgrounds, the different uniforms. Paget. So we got those ones. And then something that I got from an auction a while back. They'd come in. This is a 1906 Philadelphia Phillies team photo. And this paper's got a whole bunch of information. It's like a variation of another image that was used. But you can see Kid Gleason, Bransfield again. Love the old school uniform. So it goes through the list of the players. Pat Moran, who was a player and a manager for the Phillies. He was actually the manager of the 1915 team. Manager Duffy, Sherry McGee. So some John Titus. John Titus was the first guy in that, or the only guy, in the T206 set, right, with a mustache. So this is kind of right before and right after some crazy legends that the Phillies had for a while. They had one hell of an outfield there in the early 1900s. So this is super cool. This is something that's really neat and something you're not going to see very often, and definitely a little different than today's team photos. But I'm thrilled to add that to the collection as well. Obviously very fragile. I'm going to have to get it into a new holder and such. But that's mail day. Whole bunch of fun stuff. Like I said, a big mix. We got early 1900s, late 1800s. We've got some modern parallels and inserts, autographs. So it's just fun to pick stuff up. I don't really see how anyone ever gets burned out or bored of the hobby and stuff like that. There's so many things. You can pick up stuff that cost a couple $100. You can pick up stuff that costs just a couple dollars. There's so much selection from so many years. We got like 150 years worth of different stuff we can collect. So make sure you kind of check it all out. Appreciate you guys watching. Comment below. Let me know what you think. What are some of your favorite pickups? Anything that stood out? Anything that you're looking to add to your collection? Let me know in the comments down below, and I will talk to you next time. Have a great one.